Buck Showalter to the Mets.
That's what I said during the commercial break.
Is fantastic.
I wanted to see your thoughts on that as a Yankee fan and, Buck, former Yankee coach. It was a while ago.
Max Scherzer was pushing for it.
Couple things. As you know, the Mets went to the World Series with one of the greatest Yankees of all time as their manager, Yogi Berra, way before your time, Christopher. Their second World Series appearance was with Yogi as a manager. And then the Yankees went on one of the greatest runs of all time when they fired Buck to get the supposed, at the time, retread, former Met manager, Joe Torre.
Yeah.
So, this is not like it's never happened before. And Buck is phenomenal. Phenomenal. He cares, man. And he's going to bring a real mentality to that. I think Alonso's going to love him. I think he's got a sense of humor. He's going to be great with the media. You know that. I think he's Zooming today.
Yeah, I just caught about a few minutes ago.
He's going to be just terrific at this. And,
excited.
Orioles fans know it didn't work out at the end, but for a while it did. He's got a great way about him. And I loved him, working with him. I worked with him during the Diamondbacks Yankees World Series of 2001 for ESPN. We traveled together. I did SportsCenter. He was the analyst for SportsCenter. They sent us packing before Game 2 of that World Series so we could do the hits for SportsCenter and the off day in New York City for in between Games 2 and 3, and then we traveled together to get there in time for Game 6. And it was a tough thing for him to do because, he was the Yankee manager before Torre arrived, and then everything zoomed off there with a lot of players that he knew.
Had to be how
their days of being baby Yanks in the minor leagues where he was from, and then he took them to a certain spot, and then the Yankees went with Joe Torre and then went on an incredible run. But then he became the Diamondbacks' first manager, and they blew him out. And Bob Brenly took that team that he built in a stadium that he told me a story. This is his attention to detail. He told me a story that he was also on top of the design of the old, what was called Bank One ballpark, the Bob was the nickname for it. Yeah. That he was the one who also, do you remember they had, they may still, that small slice of dirt leading from home plate to the mound? That's kind of old school.
Kind of
and he also okayed the ceramic baseball, not ceramic, the concrete baseballs that were around the stadium outside. He was,
Didn't you
looking
say something
at
about
details.
the foul pole was
yes.
turned the wrong
So
way?
here's the story.
Yeah.
He was running in the ballpark before it opened up. He's jogging around the stadium's circumference of the stadium, a warning track, and then the dirt on the side and foul territory. Running around the stadium, and he's running towards right field, and he notices something strange. Then he makes the turn, and he sees the other foul pole as he's running around the warning track, and he's like, "This is strange." Does one last lap around the stadium, and he realizes what it is. They had placed, the folks who put the stadium together in Arizona, they had placed the foul pole mesh in foul territory.
Right.
The mesh needs to be in fair territory, so it helps you understand that it is a fair ball when it's close to the pole and it hits off of something. So it lets you know it's a fair ball and thus a home run when it hits the mesh that's on the inside of the foul pole. So the mesh is in fair territory. It was in foul territory. He had to instruct somebody in operations to come and lift the poles out of the ground, twist them 180 degrees, and place them back in.
Wow. Attention to detail.
And, obviously he will bring that.
Big detail.
He will bring that every day, and it's not like no other managers do it. He just has a real good way about it.
I'm looking forward to him
You
calling
should
in.
be psyched, man.
Yeah. Let's go.
That's what he.
that
I'll just mention an adult in a room. He's that.
That is if we're even play baseball this year. Who knows?
Oh, stop! They're not gonna be that crazy.
And with what you said about Showalter, that's kind of like I'd imagine how Mark Jackson feels about the Warriors.
Yes.
You know, he
covered absolutely.
Couple 50-win seasons, got them there. He gets ousted. Steve Kerr comes in. Dynasty built.
Doug Collins with the Bulls. I mean, you could go on and on and on, right? With that sort of stuff.
Paul Westphal.
Oh, yeah, with Pat Riley.
Well, Magic got Paul Westphal fired.
Well, also, timing's obviously everything in life, and then it's not like the other guys just rolled the baseballs out or rolled the basketballs out or footballs out, right? How do you think Dungy feels about Gruden with the Bucks? Yeah. Right? Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.